Cage Minds, joined by Chris Brown. Last time I talked to you, we were on Red Menace.
Yes.
Let's talk about Warrior Way Wednesday.
Yes.
And what a wayward week that led to for you. Fill everybody in. What happened when you went out to Detroit, man?
So, for my last fight, everything was good. It was good to go. Weight was on point. Was ready to go. I'm in Detroit. I get out of my Uber. Bavon Lewis is texting me. He's like, hey, I'm sorry to hear that happened. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And he's like, man, yeah, I just read some shit. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? He's like, bro, call the promoter or call our manager. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna call the promoter. So I call the promoter and he's like, oh man, no one told you? Yeah, we had to cancel the card. I'm like, what the hell? Like, cancel the card? And they're like, 3 of the 5 fight, there's 5 fights on the card. So 3 guys didn't have their medicals done. Like, my opponent showed up with his blood work and didn't even have eye exams done. So, and 2 other fighters did the same thing or had their stuff pending. So there's only 5 fights on the card. So they had to cancel. The UFC told them to cancel the card. So that happens. And as I'm getting on the plane to leave Detroit, I get a call from the matchmaker that he just got off the phone with Daron Cruickshank people and said that he was down to fight. So, of course, I jumped on it. It's like, hell yeah. I tried to fight him in February for the first Warrior Wednesday, but he, Diego and Coach Chad ran into him when we went out to Vegas, and he said it was just a rumor that he was going to fight on the card. So we were like, oh, whatever. Fight fell through, and then, hey, 3rd time's a charm, because this is the 3rd time I was supposed to have been on there. And 3 is my favorite number, so I'm feeling amazing about this.
Now you're taking on a UFC Rizin Ultimate Fighter, veteran with a karate style, a knockout artist, a big name. So,
oh man, I couldn't ask for more. Like, this is what I want. Like, just to be able to go out there and show and prove my skill level and show where I'm at, especially against a dangerous opponent. Like, people probably think I'm crazy. Like, this is my 5th pro fight, and he's got over 30 at least. So, you know, it just shows that nobody else would fight me. Like, the promoter was like, in his 12 years of promoting, he's never had a fighter he couldn't match. So, and he ended up having to go to Japan to bring Daron back to fight in his hometown because he's from Detroit. So it just makes it even more exciting for me. Like, it just proves like nobody around the country, like LFA couldn't match me in 8 cities. And then they had this trouble matching me, like people pulling out, making excuses not to fight me. You know, it took someone like Daron Cruickshank for me to get another opponent. So I feel that I'm blessed, and you know, I've earned my right to be here, and I just grind and grind. So I think everything happens for a reason, and all the little setbacks I had just set me up for even bigger performance.
Gotta say, this has to be the most focused, biggest camp of your life. I mean,
yeah, and I went 3 camps in a row basically because I was supposed to fight in February. They did some nonsense. Dude didn't want to fight, pulled out, and then still got another fight on the card. And then they told a bunch of lies to get me off the card. Promoter apologized for listening to the bullshit and made it up to me, had me headlining the next one, and then I had the guy pull the medical stuff. So, you know, he was just, you know, the promoter showed me a lot of love. They took care of me when I went out there, and they promised they were gonna give me another fight. They told me I could have waited till May since I just cut weight, but I was like, no, I'm trying to get on it. So I was like, I'm coming back next month. So find me somebody for next month, and he hit me with the Daron before I even left Detroit. So I couldn't have been more ecstatic because we had already started trying to prepare for him in January, February. We had already started game planning for him, figuring that I was going to fight him. So everything just happens for a reason, and it worked out.
And this is a guy you watch. What do you think of his style? What do you think of the fight? Getting in the cage, actually, what's
it's exciting. Yeah, I like his. I don't think he throws as much karate stuff as he used to. Now that he's over there in Japan, I've been watching his Rizin fights. He's been fighting a lot over there. Turned more of like boxing. Like, he does a lot of boxing. Him and Holly have a similar style. very similar style from what I've been watching. From back to his UFC days, he used to throw a lot more kicks, a lot more fancy kicks and stuff like that. But the videos of him in Rizin, he's not, you know, as fancy with his stuff. But he's more of trying to knock you out with his punches. So I think the style matchup is great for me. I've seen his style for a few years now, training with Holly. They do the exact same things, you know, flurry of punches, ending with a kick and all of that stuff. So I've seen it. I'm the taller fighter. I'm the bigger fighter. I know people look at the picture and see that from the poster that he looks a lot bigger than me on the poster, but you know, that picture was while I was cutting weight. I just sent in an old picture from cutting weight, and you know, he's all Japan. You know how they do over there.
There's a lot of naysayers going to be out there.
Oh yeah,
You're
you already
crazy.
seen people
You're
say
gonna
I'm
get beat
crazy,
up, dude.
like, oh, and people are gonna be shocked when they see this fight because they're like, what the hell? He's like, he's not a better grappler than me. I know that for sure. Like half of his I think he has 11 losses and 8 of them are submissions. He just lost from submission his last fight. He got choked. I think he got a guillotine in the first round or something like that. And I just did another interview. They were like, oh, are you going to just try to out-grapple him and take him to the ground and finish him because that's where he usually loses? I'm like, you know, I would love to grapple. You know, I'm going to grapple. I'm going to use my grappling. I always do. But the people don't, he doesn't think I can stand with them, and the people are going to be very surprised.